So we're here for a GSF school match analysis, and I'm Despon, and I'm joined by. You can introduce yourselves at any time, or just remain completely silent and make me sound like I'm talking to myself.
I thought Mikhail was going to go first.
Oh.
Okay.
I was trying to be nice.
Okay. Mikhail. I'm Mikhail. Hi. And
And we have one other person here.
I was waiting for Mikhail's pregnant pause to finish. I thought something was going to come after that.
Oh.
Okay. And I'm Bob Dylan for Victoria's Secret.
Very good. Well, we're here to analyze this match in which I perform horribly, but you can learn from it. So that's hopefully what will happen.
Yeah, this will hopefully be the first of many of these little maybe 10 to 15 minute videos in which I ruthlessly pick apart and criticize Despon's flying. And right off the bat here, I'm noticing a very strike-heavy comp on both sides, namely that there is more than 0 strike fighters on each team. but there's only one gunship on the pub side, so.
And I'll just point out that I chose Scout in this match because I wanted to record a Scout match and not for any tactical reason. But I figured, I could probably do decently enough in it that I wouldn't be destroying my team.
Well, they had, I believe they had 2 bombers to start out with here. And as we see, the Warzone shutdown sequence boarded, thankfully.
Yeah.
And another thing I'm noticing as you approach Festra here, you don't have cooldown text. You've blown Wingman and targeting, and now E-Field, and you don't have cooldown text. Please put that on.
Now I'm about to
next
die.
time.
And I die because I'm an idiot. And
that's another thing. You don't try to save your cooldowns if you can't help it. If you're getting shot at and you're chasing a bomber and you know there are secret mines available or something like that, and you have retro available, use it.
To be fair,
what
in that particular instance, that was just merely incompetence and not a tactical error.
Okay. Well, perhaps if you had cooldown text, you might have noticed that you had it available because the cooldown text would have made you look at your ability bar a little more.
You're assuming that I can focus on anything that isn't directly in front of my line of sight.
Okay, yeah. Spoken like a gunship pilot. Now, I don't have the input.
Strafe here.
I like the strafe there. I don't have the input overlay to see, but I can tell that you were strafing around that rock. That's a nice little. If you're able to work in input overlays into future videos, I would recommend doing so.
I may do that.
So that you could show when people are when you're strafing and when you're not. So it's very turn fight heavy, given the ship comps right now. Not a lot of gunships, so there aren't many stationary targets for you to shoot at, really.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of moving around and shooting at each other, which is going to contribute to a pretty low overall shooting percentage for everybody.
Except for this stationary target who's flying, sadly, in a bit of a straight line there.
And if you're a bomber pilot, please work on your peripheral vision.
Like, don't stick yourself out in the open like that, or that's exactly what's going to happen.
Hold on. This is the best part of the match.
Oh, man. Yeah. I still maintain that door frame was well within tolerable levels, and I should have flown right through there.
That is not a bug. That is the way because the camera is kind of looking down on you, the way the camera is angled, you're actually higher up on the screen than you might think you are because of the camera angle. So
objects are closer than they appear.
Like the Jurassic Park joke.
Whether or not you crash based on where your ship is, but your camera angle was higher than where your ship was, and therefore you thought that you were safe, but you were actually not.
Yeah. We'll just ignore the fact that I just missed that person about 6 times and now fly directly into a nest of enemies like I'm Superman and can just withstand anything. But I quickly realized how much trouble I'm in and retro thrust into the structure to get out of there. Just noting that retro thrusting into the structure is a way to get out of a bad situation, although perhaps not in the most team-friendly manner.
Probably even after you're well practiced, that's the ability that's going to kill you the most when you hit it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Finish them. Evasive action.
This time, I at least managed to get out of there instead of sticking around in a danger area.
And you're quite low on engine, and I want to say in some of the previous engagements in this video, you were quite low on weapon power as well. Remember I said earlier about the shooting percentage. That's going to contribute to that because you're taking a lot of shots that don't hit. So you're losing weapon power for no reason. That kill though that you had on what's his name, Divian. That's an ideal burst laser kill. Generally, you want to open up within 1,000 meters before you start. Fly within 1,000 meters before you start firing.
I mean, I take a lot of risky shots, and sometimes it does pay off. But yeah, if you can get in that close and they're holding still for you like that, that's definitely a good situation with burst lasers.
Finish them. They're taking fire.
Although that probably would have been a good time to burn retro.
Yeah, I would have done that too.
Yeah, right at that moment you would have been able to get one more shot in and kill that guy.
No, I totally agree.
Also, is there a reason you don't have timestamps on your chat?
I never found it useful.
Okay.
I never really considered that I needed it.
By the way, there's an engine power-up down at C3 that I would have taken.
Totally missed, yeah. I was focused right there on just getting to that gunship Dorothan and finishing him off. Because, with just that sliver of health left, I figured I could probably...
Finishing him off with a rocket snipe, by the way.
Yeah.
And rockets have some inherent armor piercing, don't they? Or shield piercing, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I would have burned Wingman there when you were dueling.
That scout was using concentrated fire.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yep.
And
that was how he killed you one of the times.
And that only lasts 6 seconds. So first off, if you can drag the duel out for longer than 6 seconds, his big advantage, namely his bumped up crit rate, is gone. And you didn't blow Wingman. If you blow Wingman, because he had D-field up, you have a much better chance of hitting him. There was a moment where somebody K-turned there, and you tried to keep your reticule on the lead target indicator when they K-turned. Part of being an experienced pilot and a nice little skill to teach yourself over the many games that you practice is being able to recognize engine abilities by looking at them and knowing where the ship is going to go and where to adjust your reticule to follow the lead target indicator.
The funny thing is, I see K-turns so infrequently that it didn't even register to me.
No, that's fine.
It's like I don't even expect anyone to use it, although it's the default on a lot of ships.
In high-level play, you're not going to see it all that much. Also, the DO just spawned at Globe West, and you passed it up.
I totally passed it up. It makes me mad every time I see it on this video.
All right, Retro, you tried to get a kill there, but the person's kind of off center.
And he's in Type 1 Scout, and that has a lot of inbuilt evasion to begin with, so I was missing a bunch of shots even though I was fairly well centered on them. Some I just missed badly because I was not centered, but it's a mix of both.
So, that over there just now, Dorothan, had a clean shot on Rose, who was in a gunship. As a gunship pilot, you don't want to sit there when a T1 Scout charges in your face.
Yeah. She's usually pretty good at that, though, at whenever there's pressure coming, getting out of there.
So I want to say at the beginning of that Dorothan engagement, you were taking close to max range shots at him when he had D-field up and you didn't have Wingman up.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I need to pay more attention to the cooldowns on the targeting, the target indicator up in the upper right that tells us what they have.
And that contributes to this death right here, because by the time you tried to burn down that bomber, you were already almost out of weapon power.
Yeah.
It would have helped your weapon power later on had you just kind of not bothered shooting. Yeah.
So here he's going for a DO that, it's pretty common to spot. This is one of the easier DOs to spot in this map.
Yeah, if you know the spawn locations for the damage overcharges, you'll spot that one and the opposite one that spawns up north as well.
And here's one of the. You have a really good sequence here. You just burn like one enemy down after another, and from the standpoint of the players that you're killing quickly, you really got to look at the buff and debuff trays on not just you, but your the opposing pilots that are engaging you. If someone's engaging you with DO, please do not joust them like that first scout you killed. And if they're shooting at you, please see if you can barrel roll away to avoid a death, like that gunship you killed.
Also, just pay attention to the global announcement when somebody gets damage overcharge. It puts it right up on the screen. It says
that would be
Beris
pretty
has
good.
damage overcharge.
So another thing is, even though you should pay attention to the announcement, know that sometimes if the opponent gets it out of communication range, you won't actually notice it.
Finish them.
So this happens commonly with gunships. So still be careful. You should also pay attention to their buff indicators on the below the ships.
Absolutely.
That sequence right there, that kill on Kumi, you were trying to chase him down and then stop to start to fire. If you're going to take shots while you're boosting, and if you're going to choose a point to stop, that person was slowing down for a little bit, and then you stopped to start firing right when you were already at max range. See if you can get within 2,000 meters or 1,000 meters even before you start firing. So even when they start boosting away, you're still getting shots while they're in range. Because if you start firing when they're at max range, the moment they boost forward, all of a sudden your shots are never going to hit because you're out of range.
Definitely.
Finish them.
Okay, this is no, it isn't. Oh, this is a kind of a crucial sequence here because if you look at the mini map, you'll see that the DO at the southern cardinal position has spawned. You don't go for it, and I forget who gets it.
I'm way out of range for
It isn't you though.
No, definitely not.
Yes. A direct hit.
It's actually sitting there for quite a while, which unfortunately tells you that a lot of the players in this match don't have that reaction to check down there and see if they spot a DO, or even to just notice it whenever they're flying by the area,
A direct hit.
which I'm guilty of a couple times in this match of not having the peripheral vision to spot the red glow and pick it up.
And a nice tip for beginning pilots is, since you're not super used to the way things are laid out already, and since we have interface editor, go to the Galactic Starfighter section of the interface editor and blow the mini map up as big as possible. That's a big help. When I play, every single thing I have on the interface is scaled down, with the exception of two things: the buff and debuff trays and the mini map.
Victory will be
I
ours.
finally have the good sense to pick up one of the lesser power-ups here, and you should always grab them if you see them. And you're in range. I mean, if you see a shield power-up that's way across the map, sometimes it's not necessary to go out of your way to get it, but if it's in front of you and you have the chance to pick it up, there's no reason not to.
Any stat boost you can pick up easily in TDM is a big help.
So over there, when making a tight turn like that, I would have done power to weapons, so that I could have a faster turning radius.
A little bit more.
Smaller
yeah.
turning radius and turn faster.
And speaking of weapons and bad breaks, you've run out of rocket pods, and there was a yellow power-up behind you a few seconds ago, and then somebody else got it.
Yeah, Dorothan's flew in there and picked it up.
This isn't the best sequence.
It was very unfortunate. Yeah, it's not a great end to the match for me here, unfortunately.
And if you look at the mini-map, the DO at the Globe East position has spawned, but you're not going for it, because you're trying to defend, what's his name, Stuon from Divian.
Yeah.
And this ends in the worst possible way.
Oh, completely.
Short of you dying, so...
I mean, at least I didn't do that, but yeah. He was just ahead of me when the
Yes. A
DO
direct
spawned
hit.
down there. And with my lack of rockets, I didn't have enough firepower to throw at him. And that...
You would have had you gotten the DO.
Yeah.
Just take
that too, yeah.
I know it sounds selfish to leave your teammate hanging out to dry like that, but because of what you're going for, and because Stuon apparently wasn't going for it, just go for the DO and come back, because at that point you would have the firepower needed.
Yeah. And that's a wrap on that match. The 46-46 tie. Not the most common thing to have happen, but ties happen, and it was a close match.
One more kill or one fewer death results in a win.
If I had not slammed into that door frame, it would have changed the entire outcome of the match.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway, as always, and this is the thing I stress with new pilots, is shooting percentage. Something to work on, because this is a Twitch game, and you need to develop hitting, being able to line targets up and hit them with regularity. Because if you can't hit targets, you can't deal damage, and if you can't deal damage, you can't get kills. If you can't get kills, you can't survive. If you can't survive, you can't win games.
Reduce the amount of shots taken. As a beginner pilot, you need to work on that, because you don't want to fire prematurely to give your enemies a chance to react. Opening up closer and conserving shots was, like, for example, on Divian in minute 5.
Yeah.
That was a clean shot. It took 3 seconds. And if you can kill something so quickly, you'll be able to switch targets very often and hunt them down.